And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on Antigua Shipyard, and in the top left-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player from the Team Incredible Miracle, none other than Lucira.
Kitty cat Zerg.
So cute. His opponent down here in the bottom right-hand corner is our pink Zerg player from the Team MVP, winner of the last game, trying to be the first guy in the set to win 2 in a row. It's Monster.
Alrighty, there we are. By the way, no commercials. Gonna be hooking you guys up, going straight through these games. There's a bit of an apology for us, unfortunately, with the internet dropping down. So hopefully we get through these games really quickly for you guys. Can jump into the international qualifiers number 2. So
that's right. A lot of cool stuff coming up from the IPL soon. Of course, next week we are going to be in Las Vegas at the Hard Rock Hotel with our 4-player $10,000 dice tournament. We're going to have Grubby, Lucifron, Scarlet, and Violet competing for $10,000. You guys want to pick up absolutely free tickets to it? Go to go.ign.com/diceipl. Again, that's go.ign.com/diceipl. We also have threads up all over the place for it, so if you need any information, you should be able to find it there.
Tomorrow's our last day for that, right? The 31st of January? For the
that's for the IPL 6 tickets.
$15
yes.
for the tickets, yeah.
Oh, that's right. And if you guys just want your IPL tickets right now, general admission tickets are only $15, but you have to pick them up by tomorrow because the deal ends at the end of January. So head on over to tickets.ign.com for all IPL 6 related information and ticket sales.
Yeah, and when the deal ends, they jump up to $30 actually, so you're essentially going to be paying double for a ticket that was only $15. So get on that, guys. Well, jumping into the game here, we actually have pretty nice openings for our players. We have 15 hatcheries. Lazir did actually a bit of a delayed 15 hatchery. He went for the 11 cancel on the extractor and then follow up on the drones, which actually slows down your hatchery a little bit. I believe the 10 is actually a little bit quicker for you, but
yes, you are correct.
It still comes down to preference on how you want to run it. A lot of people still do the 9 Overlord. It really doesn't hurt your game that much, but it's just a couple of milliseconds. I mean,
yeah,
why not, man? Be more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, like like people were saying, the extractor trick is it's something to do with your APM at the beginning of a game.
Yeah.
Makes it a little less boring, and maybe that's more important to you than having an additional 10 resources in the bank.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here now. As gas is up for both players, you can see that through all of this, Lucira ends up about 12 gas behind his opponents. That's kind of the total extent of the damage, I guess, as to why his slower opening and what it's going to do to him. But otherwise, builds are very consistent between these two, and no real way to tell apart what they're going to do yet.
So Monster did go for the 15 hatchery into the 15 pull into the gas for a reason. It's because Lucira will always open up the most efficient way to go for gas because he likes to have his speed. So Monster knew he was safe to go for a really quick hatchery. It's what Lucira does. And there was a time in GSL where Lucira would always lose his natural all the time, defend it, and then fall up in a muta play and just win games. It was just what Lucira did. So everyone kind of knows his play style, and that's why Monster opened up with a really safe opening without being too aggressive with scouting.
All right, well, Lucira now, actually both players going for double queens, gas coming up too, and pretty even worker counts at this stage of the game. So, I mean, just really not much to tell them apart. What's really going to come down to is how much they want to poke across the map, what information they get from their opponent, how quickly they go up to second gas layer. That's when we'll really start to see differences. But, as we can see, a Baneling Nest coming up for Lucira at the moment. No such structure for Monster quite yet, although that's going to be one too.
Yeah, it's a little bit earlier of a Baneling Nest. Normally you put that Baneling Nest down, as actually Monster did it, around the 28 mark. You're going to be able to get a couple more drones out, and then while you're creating that Overlord, you get your Baneling Nest down first. Lucira did his at the 26 mark here, which should give him a good 15 seconds to actually pop in with a couple of Banelings and maybe throw your opponent off. You kind of have to factor in the map distance, which I think is 8 to 12 seconds to get across the middle of the map. So he wants to get in here, get these Banelings in as quick as possible.
Oh, yeah, because he's following this up with another 12 Zerglings, too. So he's planning on putting on a little bit of pressure here. Went for that earlier Baneling Nest for absolutely a specific reason, building him underneath the Overlord here where he knows that there's no possible way for Monster to pick up on these yet.
All right, Overlord is on its way out, but again, it's just a little bit too late. Lings are now darting across the middle of the field here. Monster will see it with his Overlords out by side that natural. There they are, seeing the Lings, and speed is about to kick in. Lucira has his timing down to a T, but Monster's already out here with 2 Lings.
Yeah, and his speed finished up a few seconds before Lucira's did, so he's going to be able to pick off a Baneling here, and great control, pulls one of the Zerglings away, ensuring that he gets the most cost-effective possible trade. Another Baneling comes down, and these Banelings have just done nothing for Lucira.
Nice hold here from Monster, doing really good, focusing down that Baneling with the Queen as well. Lings do make it into the main. and they actually can't focus down that queen because there's Lings there to support as well, so he has to go straight for drones. As long as Monster doesn't lose too many drones here, he's going to take such a huge lead.
Yeah, and he hasn't lost any yet. And in fact, oh look, he gets just on the other side of the gas too, so he knows that the Banelings are in position, follows that up with a few additional Lings, kills the morphing in Banelings, and Lucira has officially done nothing. He gets a scout, yes, but did he catch the end of layer tech? Yeah, okay, he saw the timing on layer tech, but that's pretty much the only information he got.
Sick play there from Monster. He defended that so well, and it was just him catching those Banelings just a little bit early with the first couple of Lings. They helped out so much. Lasir is following this up into an evolution chamber, which really kind of screams that he wants to go for roaches pretty quickly, and he wants to get a defensive stature, falling up into his lair here. So he'll be playing defensive because he knows that Monster having that early aggression and how Monster loves to go mutas, most likely will have aggression coming towards him. So he'll probably get out an extra queen and have just roaches for defense.
And Monster does in fact have his 4 gas already constructed. He's mining away from those, so he's going to have a lot of gas available to him very, very soon. Layer tech just about to finish up here in just a second. Now, back on Lucira's side, his own layer tech was started, but a full about 40 seconds behind his opponent, so a big discrepancy. He did indeed begin Zerg missile attacks level 1, so direct giveaway that we're going to be seeing Roach play here very soon. And there indeed, the Roach Warren drops down.
Alrighty, so it's really important for Lucira to hold off this aggression that's going to be coming from Monster. Monster has thrown down a Spire, so mutas will be on the way. A good hold off to this is Roach Hydra. You can follow up into a Festation Pit and hope to get a Money Fungal and potentially deal with the mutas that way. But Monster is going to have a small tech advantage here, guys. He has the chance here to do a nice amount of aggressive damage.
And Monster has already decided to take his 3rd, so it's well on the way. Lucira has not actually... Okay, there we go. He's actually sending out a drone right now to plop that down. So 3rd hatchery's on the way, but everything is just a little bit behind for Lucira at the moment.
You can really tell how that trade-off early, how he went for that early Bailiness. If it didn't do any damage, it just hurts him. And Monster just being ahead a little bit on everything is so big here for him. One Ling for a Bailing there. Lucira not paying attention quite yet. This Queen is actually caught. This Queen, will it go down? No, the Bailings show up, and they're actually going to defend that Queen, but that Queen is very low on HP. Need to retreat that away, Lucira.
That's true. So 3 Banelings now rolling in for Monster. He hasn't explicitly picked up on the space, but he knows it's there because there were units shifting away from that position a while ago. Banelings actually coming in, and that's going to take out this
nice
Queen
hit.
and a bunch of Zerglings too. Very well done. And that hatchery is forced to be canceled right away. Another huge advantage for Monster.
Oh my gosh, Lucira's making a couple of mistakes here. Now the Ling's darting straight into the main. Roaches are popping out, but they're on the way to the natural, finally turning them around right away. This Queen will be defended with some nice micro. The Roaches are dealing with the Lings in the natural as well, and Lucira's going to hold this, but man, he's got to have a miracle hole for this follow-up. Mutas now on the way, 9 of them, Kevin. 9 mutas, and that infestation pit was started really, really late. So pathogen glands, let's see, the infestation pit still has 20 seconds, and you've got another 80 seconds for pathogen glands. Of course, you start your infestors 30 seconds the way through that, but you're still looking at another 100 seconds in-game before these infestors are even a threat. And those mutas are going to be well across the map by then. And Lucira actually getting all of his roaches caught. Looks like Monster's splitting up his mutas to deal with these. Oh my gosh, and the roaches are actually split up, so that allows these Lings to come in and get us around right away, and Monster's just going to destroy these units. And now at this point, Lucira's just trying to buy time. Okay, I need Spore Callers up, I need extra Queens on the field. These roaches are just essentially become suicide units from either. I'm just going to throw them away and try and get ready at home for these mutas. Overseer tries to head in the main as well, but Monster will snipe that away. And looks like we already have a road transition on the way for Monster. Monster is playing so well right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is textbook muta road switch, though. You make enough that you can clear up overlords, you can pressure, you can pick off a couple of drones, you're annoying, you contain your opponent, things like that. Then you just switch right back and then end up having a better number and better upgrade count of roaches and infestors. But usually, you know, the player who went dedicated roaches is going to be quicker on upgrades, and that's one big advantage they have. But in this case, Lucira is so far behind that even with that super early evolution chamber, he's going to be on exactly the same +2/+2 as Monster is.
Yeah, certainly. He went for a counter-aggressive attack after those Lings and initial Banelings actually showed up to his natural, and so he had to slow down that +2 forever so he can try and do some damage. But Monster's quick tech and the mutas completely cut that off as well. It's going to come down to a miracle defense here for Lucira. He's got to land a really good fungal and potentially try to kill off these mutas as fast as possible. Get those Queens in there and don't let them be sniped by the roaches.
All right, well, more Overlords getting picked off across the map. That's another annoying thing, too. I think 4 or 5 Overlords have gone down to these mutas, so that's 500 resources that Lucira now has to expend on clearing up his supply cap when he would literally spend that on anything else. And Monster 6 splitting up his mutas so he can run into this engagement here. But he does get, actually, that's a really good fungal off to the side, so Lucira does capture a lot of these mutas that allows the Spore Crawler to just kind of work away on the mutas up at the top, so they're getting killed pretty quickly. And look at this, Lucira is actually going to find a way to push this back. despite the horrible position he was in just a second ago.
That Spore Crawler was so money, and he also landed a second fungal as well. Monster immediately had those units selected and was getting ready to pull them away, but Lucira came back with another Infestor and landed that fungal, and that Spore Crawler just did so much damage, reinforcing Roaches as well. Held back the Roaches of Monster. Monster couldn't engage on that Spore Crawler or he loses too many ground units. Such a bad, weird predicament to be in, and a great catch there by Lucira, and suddenly he's looking pretty decent in this game.
Yeah, Monster was feeling very confident going into that engagement. Obviously, just kind of bull rushed his way up the ramp and was like, all right,
yeah,
well, whatever's here, let's go for it. And I'm a little bit surprised about that. He could have easily killed off this third, but now it's an active production facility for Lucira, and all of a sudden, Lucira finds himself on a very nice, well-rounded force, and his Infestors even have enough energy to pop out a couple fungal growths.
Well, Monster's getting aggressive again. The thing is, he's going with Roaches with Ling support here, and the Lings are really bad against Infestors. They just naturally group up so massively. You land on a fungal and you just kill them off. And to be honest, if you have Roaches kind of jammed against the wall, they really don't get enough surface area to deal with them either. Oh, and some Roaches trying to go for a run by here. Lucira catches some of them. A few do make it in the natural, but there are actually 2 queens there because he made some for the Mutas. And these Roaches don't look like they're going to do that much damage, but these Roaches look like they're going to do a lot.
That's right. And a couple of the queens are going to fall here inside of the main, but maybe not worth the cost of about 10 or 11 Roaches that went through. This hatchery is under fire, but already Lucira has dealt with the Roaches over at the 12 o'clock position, and now coming back to try and save his hatchery, which is down to just 300 hit points, but it looks like he's going to hold on to it, and Lucira does not lose this production, he does not lose this base, and all of a sudden has a 30 supply advantage. So as good as Monster was at the beginning of this game, is as big as his throw essentially has been through the end of this.
Yeah, Monster, I mean, his CBZs are just a little bit on the lackluster side. And, he's making a lot of decisions and trying to make your opponent kind of throw off a little bit, but Lucira is defending perfectly here. He's always had the right composition. Roach is charging straight in. 3 Spine Cars are on their way, but they're not even close to being done quite yet. And he's just going to move forward here with Fungals and Infested Terrans and try and just kill everything in the way.
And Monster whiffed twice with Fungal Growth right there. Twice.
Wow.
So he had one that hit 1 Roach and one that hit 2 Roaches. So that's a huge waste of energy, and the follow-up from the Infestors of Lucira was plenty enough to drop down enough Infested Terrans and deal out DPS to overwhelm the force that was sitting here for Monster. And Monster actually is just going to GG. He was at least going to lose his third, but that's it. Game number 7 is in the bag, and it goes to Incredible Miracle.
Kitty Cat Zerg, man, doing what he does best. I mean, he just made it out of the GSL. He took, I believe, 2nd place, if I remember correctly. I think it was a 2-1. But Lucira, he is back on the uppity up, man, coming toward the end of Wings of Liberty. He wants to show that he is on top of his game, and he certainly was that game.
All right, guys. Well, that is game number 7. And so we're back up to where we haven't seen any of this before. So this is all new to us once again. The last player for MVP is actually going to be Tails.
Exciting.
Yes, a great Protoss player, a guy who's been used as the ace for MVP countless times. So certainly this guy knows his way around team leagues and has a very well-rounded set of matchups.
Yeah, and he's really good against Zerg too. It's a little bit of his specialty,
yes,
if you will. So let's go ahead and jump into the game, guys. It's going to be on Cloud Kingdom, Tails versus Lucira.